Okay, let's dive right into a pain point we all know way too well, wasting hours on manual formatting and writing custom code just to get your documents and integrations working. If you've ever found yourself pulling your hair out over tedious, repetitive tasks while trying to build a simple layout, well, you're absolutely in the right place. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to unpack the newest Business Central updates that are fundamentally changing how you handle document generation and system integrations. We're going to look at the exact tools that'll save you time, eliminate those annoying repetitive clicks, and totally strip away unnecessary manual coding. It's a real game changer. We've got a crystal clear roadmap today. We're going to start by looking at the integration ecosystem, then move into the front-end word layout improvements, showcase the absolutely incredible new table builder, and finish up with the back-end magic of 36 brand new APIs. To really understand why these new updates are so vital, we first need to take a step back and look at the massive scale at which Business Central operates. Think of it like a giant central hub. Business Central is deeply woven into Microsoft 365 apps, Word, Excel, Outlook, along with the Power Platform, Dataverse, Dynamics 365 Sales, and even Shopify. And it communicates across this vast ecosystem, primarily via REST APIs. So this connectivity really sets the stage for why making document generation more accessible and expanding those API endpoints matters so much for your daily efficiency. Now, what's super interesting is how the redesigned Word add-in completely changes your everyday developer experience. Microsoft has drastically streamlined navigation here. The data picker tree is now way easier to navigate with clear visual nesting levels, and yes, we finally have dark mode support. But the real time savers are the interaction updates. Finding a specific field in a massive data set no longer means endless scrolling. There's now a global search bar that filters across all data items, labels, and reports all at once. Plus, you can insert fields just by double-clicking them. And if you're working with a data set you didn't even build yourself, a new metadata action pops right up summarizing the key properties of the selected data item, paired with refactored table-level tooltips. It's just ultimate clarity. And check this out. Here's a massive time saver. When you insert a field inside a table, the cursor automatically advances to the next cell. I know, it sounds minor, right? But when you're constructing massive multi-column layouts, this auto-advancing cursor literally eliminates hundreds of repetitive clicks. It just makes the whole build process incredibly fluid. But let's move to the real climax of the document layout story, the new table builder. For anyone who has painfully built Word layouts with line sections manually, you know the drill. The old workflow was brutal. You had to place a table in Word, manually add a word merge data byte comment just to mark the repeater row, and then insert each field column by column through the task pane. It was the worst. Now, that entire tedious process is compressed into a single dialog box. You literally just click the new Insert Table action and configure the whole shebang in one place. Look how easily this builds out. You just follow 5 simple steps. First, select your data source from the report dataset, like sales line, for example. Second, define the number of columns and whether you want a header row. Third, pick which fields go in each column. Oh, and there's a fantastic auto-select headline toggle that fills in your column captions automatically. Fourth, you can optionally add a footer row outside the repeater for summary fields, like your totals. Finally, hit Create Table. The full structure drops perfectly into your document. Header, repeater, data columns, and footer, all completely and correctly mapped. Honestly, it's a total front-end game changer. All right, now that we've fixed the front-end document creation, let's shift our focus to the back-end integrations, because that's where the broadest technical impact is actually happening. 36. That's right, 36 brand new document API endpoints are shipping in this release, filling in the massive gaps that previously existed in the REST API stack. Historically, Business Central only exposed APIs for a handful of document types, like sales invoices or quotes, which left a lot of us building really complicated workarounds. But now, Microsoft has completely fleshed out the document types across the board. Just to give you an idea of the coverage, in sales, we now have everything from blanket sales orders all the way to archived blanket sales orders. Purchasing now spans from purchase quotes to archived blanket purchase orders. Inventory covers inventory orders through to posted direct transfers. And assembly? That includes assembly orders right through to posted assembly orders. It is a comprehensive end-to-end upgrade. And the ultimate takeaway from these 36 new endpoints? No custom AL code required. Seriously, HTTP-based automations can now interact with all these document types natively. Previously, if you needed to generate or retrieve a document that lacked API coverage, you had to dive into custom coding just to bridge that gap. Not anymore. This means that if you're building integrations on major platforms like Power Automate, Copilot Studio, Logic Apps, or really any HTTP-based automation, a massive layer of technical complexity has just been completely removed. Your automations can now speak natively to these 36 new document types utilizing standard REST APIs. To quote the update directly, integrations built on Power Automate or Logic Apps no longer require custom AL code. The relief here is real, guys. The days of fighting the system or writing custom AL code just to retrieve a specific document type are finally over. By expanding the API footprint this significantly, Business Central is empowering you to create much more robust, stable integrations right out of the box. So, with your time finally freed up from writing manual code and hacking together table layouts with invisible comments, the real question is, what will you build now that the workarounds are gone?